You got good to see everyone joining. Theodoros, good to see you. I'll keep it English for now because the majority are on the English side. Let's give everyone a couple of seconds here to hop on, but today's going to be a fun one. We're going to unpack a little bit on how we can shift beliefs when we're on calls with people, in our sales conversations. How can we take their current beliefs and start shaping them, not just to push our stuff, but to create change in a positive manner in their world? So just giving everyone time to hop on so they track. David, good to see you. It's been a while. Perfect. So let's hit the ground running. So who is going to tell me as we get started, and we're on the fewer side, so we may I may give out the answer early on, but who's going to tell me before anyone buys anything, what needs to happen? What do they have to buy into first in order to buy your thing, a service, anything? What needs to happen? What do they need to buy into first? No answer is silly. We'll unpack it.
The dream, the end goal.
That's fair. It's not it though, because everyone has an end goal, right? Oh, typically, like most humans are going to have an end goal for them, for their world. They're going to have an ideal world. Pain in their current situation, they're going to have to say that again, Andrew. Sorry.
The mechanism.
The mechanism of your solution, you mean?
Yeah.
Not necessarily. One step before. Pain in their current situation, there needs to be a pain, but a lot of people will have pain and they will not buy. Interestingly, believing the product gets into their goal. Yes, but it's even before that. Themselves changing, says Ben. No, not really. So the first thing that people need to buy into is change, right? So what exactly do I mean by change? Everyone has just like David said, like everyone has a current situation when it comes to their financials, when it comes to their fitness, when it comes to anything, really. We have a current state. Typically, it's a painful state. Like no one is 100% satisfied with what they have in place. But they have a future state. Typically, all of us, we want to, I don't know, add more muscle, we want to lose more weight, we want to make more money, we want to make more sales. So there's going to be a current state and there's going to be an end state. Problems, which was one of the answers, someone might have problems getting to their goal. But if they don't buy into change, and what do we mean by change is they follow they have a current process in place, a vehicle, they're using a vehicle, even if it's the most horrible, terrible, isn't working vehicle ever, they're using a vehicle to get to their goal. Someone wants to make more sales, they're running Facebook ads on their own. They're losing money, but still, they have a mechanism that they're using in place. So unless they accept and they commit to changing that mechanism, to changing that bridge that they're using from whatever they have in place now to something else, it doesn't have to be our thing. It's to buy into change. Hey, something is wrong. I need to change. They have to buy and commit to that change before they buy anything. Not just our thing, anyone's thing. Because I can do the best presentation ever. If they don't buy themselves that, hey, I need to change, they're not going to buy. We're going to get a think about it objection, and we're going to think that I didn't do a good job presenting, which isn't the case. It's just we didn't get enough commitment from them to make a change in the first place. So everyone clear on that? Does that make sense to everyone? Sweet. Now, what question? There's one question. Some people here are familiar with our process. Some are not as familiar, but what question can I ask? I guess what's the top question? What's the best question I can ask to temp check, to take a temperature check, if they are open to change and if they've bought into change already? What's the best question that I can ask someone during the sales conversation to get a temp check that, okay, this guy, he's sold on change. Now, all I have to do is essentially persuade him that my thing is the thing that they need to buy to make that change. So, Theodoros, does your current way of doing X get you to where you want to be? That's a good one, but there's a step before that. Because the current way of getting X, that's seeding doubt.
Why now?
Why now presses on the urgency? Just to unpack Theodoros, because it's a good one, but it's not quite the answer. Because when I ask them, is your current way getting you to where you want to go? They might say, no, it's not getting me. But they might still have lack of urgency. They might not see enough pain in their mind to still switch vehicles. In a lot of cases with that question, if we haven't done a good job, is, yeah, I'll still get there. It's just going to take me longer. I see consequence. Consequence is cost of inaction. Again, it's about the urgency. It gets them to realize that they need to change, but there is a step before to get them really committed and hooked in. David said, why now? Why now? Why is it important for you now? It presses on the urgency, but we haven't agreed that it's time for a change, right? That happens afterwards. So the question that I'm talking about is the first question in our solution awareness, what we call objection prevention, however you want to put it. And it's, okay, so before we start discussing, have you been out there looking for other ways to fix X and Y and Z problem so you can get to X and Y and Z goal? So just to customize it, before we started discussing, have you been out there looking for ways to get a better diet, get a better workout so you can start losing weight to get into summer body shape or whatever? Now, the answer that I'll get on this one will dictate what type of person they are first and their belief system around change and around what they're receptive to. So let's look at the different ways this can go, right? So I ask a prospect, okay, so before we start discussing, have you been out there looking for other ways to get, advanced help to get an exercise routine so you can lose weight faster? If I hear, yes, I have, I can understand that it's a prospect that's solution aware. So they've bought into change. They have started looking around, but it can be a trap. And that's a big but. We like them, but we don't want to hear them, the big buts. So what I mean by that is we might get a yes, but if I just accept that, I don't know how long they have been out there looking for solutions. So we might have a case of, for lack of a better term, a tire kicker that has jumped into 5 different sales calls before us, is going to jump on another 5, and they're going to make a decision next year. So I have to start not challenge it, but I have to probe and clarify deeper. That's where I come in after I get that yes, and I say, okay, so what have you looked into, if I may ask? Oh, I have looked into this diet and that diet. We're starting to get some clarity now. They've looked at a couple of solutions, right? Now we have to ask, okay, so I guess these are good diets. I don't want to talk for lack of a better term, part of my French. I don't want to talk crap for other solutions because that will turn me quickly into an enemy. I'm going to become critical, and that's what I don't want to happen. So, for example, if I'm selling fitness coaching, and yeah, I've looked at a local trainer, and I've looked at I don't know. Let's say I looked at a local trainer. If I start talking about local trainers, they're qualified. They don't. I can understand why you're looking online. No, I might get pushback there, right? Because they might value a local trainer, and it might be an objection that I have to handle at the back of the call. So I don't want to shoot myself in the foot there. Instead, what I'll do is I'll get clarity around what they have looked into. Okay, so what have you looked into so far when it comes to your solutions? Yeah, I've looked into a local trainer, and I've looked at, the Muscle X program and the Lose Weight Fast program. Okay, so it sounds like you've looked into a couple of solutions there. Can you unpack for me what prevented you from choosing one of those options, just out of curiosity? Now, what am I doing? First, I'm going to unpack what they didn't like in those solutions. So, and if it's something that I offer, I'm going to emphasize it in my presentation because it's something that they like, it's something that they value. So I'm going to double click on that. But the second step, and the most important, the critical, is I'm getting clarity. Why haven't you gone with those programs? These sound like they're good programs. Oh, yeah, they did a pretty good job explaining, but I just want to, just keep looking around. Red flag. Red flag. How so? Like when you say looking around, what did you feel was missing exactly in those programs that caused you to feel, don't think, feel, emotional side of the brain, feel that you had to keep looking around? If they cannot come up with an answers, I need a temp check. So how am I going to do that temp check? First, I don't want to be combative because it's a sensitive moment on that call. We're dealing with a person who's going to have trouble making decisions. He just proved it to us, right? He cannot come up with reasons why. He's been on 2 to 3 calls, and he cannot give me a reason why he didn't buy into one. So we're in trouble. I have to respect their decision-making process. I don't have to accept it. So how can I go around that? First, I need permission to reframe. So I want to reframe his perspective here. So how am I doing that is, that's not a problem. I mean, some people might have some hesitation around making decisions. May I make a suggestion? That's how I'm making them much more susceptible. I'm making them essentially open-minded to hear me out. I'm getting permission to reframe. And there are different language patterns. I can say, are you open to a suggestion? May I offer some perspective on that? Or, what if when you say, you're still looking around but haven't quite find the perfect program for you, what if it wasn't what you thought it was? Whoa, what do you mean? Well, what if it wasn't that you just haven't found the perfect program yet? What if it's just a case of maybe you lack some commitments towards that journey, towards becoming the person that's in the best shape of their life, and they're ready to step up in front of the mirror and be proud of themselves? I guess you might be right. Well, how are we going to overcome that? I want you to hear my language. We're on the same team here. How are we going to overcome that if we're going to get you to where you want to go? I'm not pointing a finger. I'm saying, dudes, how are you going to overcome that so you can buy my program? I'm saying, how are you going to overcome that? Soft tonality. It's like, I found my toddler who stubbed his toe in the living room. That's the tonality that I want to use there. Oops, we made a boo-boo. How are we going to overcome that if we're going to get to our goals together? Are we on the same side of the table now? 100%, right? Are they going to open up to me? Like not too long ago, I had a call. It was a prospect that told me this exactly. Yeah, I mean, I want to get better. It's just that I can't seem to commit. Like, I'm buying this book, I'm buying that book, I keep reading, but I never quite finish anything. And I'm like, oh man, I mean, that could be trouble, man. I mean, how do you think we can overcome that if we really want to get better so we can start making more commissions? And she was like, yeah, it's something that I need to do. We shouldn't stop there. There isn't commitment. It's something that I have to do. Maybe in 5 years, maybe in 10 years. No, that's where we're moving into step number 3. I jumped a step, I'm going to unpack it again. Commitment to the reframe. So I reframed him with my suggestion. And now I want him to commit to the reframe. So what I want him to say is, I'm committed. So what I'm going to ask him there is, okay, well, do you feel that you're ready? Because this journey is not for everyone. Take away. I'm taking it away. And this journey is not for everyone, for sure. But do you feel that you're ready to put yourself in the best possible position and commit to becoming the most fit version of yourself, or to acquiring the skills so you can market yourself better online? Yes, I am. I'm not going to stop there, because it's something that I planted. I planted it, but it's still surface level. Who will tell me what I'll do now? Who's going to tell me? Like, I planted the seed, he accepted it, he committed to change. What do I have to do now? Just to push the seed, and the sale is mine. Probe is a good one, but what's another one? How am I going to probe? What am I going to tell him? What am I going to ask him? Them, to be inclusive.
Consequence question.
Bingo. Or I can also ask why. Why are you committed to that change? Because I feel the time is right for me to make a change. Ding, ding, ding. Or I can simply say, just like Andrew very correctly said, yes, I'm committed to the change. Yeah, but what happens if you don't? I don't have to do the entire consequence question here and be worthy. All I need is a quick switch to help them look on the other side of the coin. Well, what happens if you don't commit, though? Well, I'm gonna stay exactly where I am. Are you willing to settle for that if you didn't have to? No. Okay. So this is how I'm gonna walk you through the structure again, but essentially the steps are, this is how we essentially plant a seed, and we get them to defend that opinion that we just planted. So step number 1, permission to reframe. May I make a suggestion? Sure. Have you ever considered that, I'm gonna go slower because I see you guys writing. So permission to reframe, may I make a suggestion? Or are you open to a suggestion? Or may I offer some perspective on that? Step number 2, reframe. Have you ever considered that this type of thinking or this mindset where you're always out there looking for the perfect program, but never quite pull the trigger on one, has kept you exactly where you are when it comes to your health journey or when it comes to your sales? And I don't mean to offend you by asking that. It's because I want you to win. Okay, no, that makes sense. So that's the reframe. I'm reframing him from always looking around Tarkiger mode to having a nice, but soft but harsh conversation about, it's go time or it's no go time. And it's fine by me either way. And step number 3, commitment to the reframe. So how did we say we want them to commit to change? After they reply back and they tell me, yes, man, you're right. I've been pushing it along. The perfect solution isn't out there. It's just taking action on something so I can start taking the right steps. Now I want to take it away lightly because it's like a pendulum, right? They accept what I have to say. But if I start pushing it away, yeah, man, can't you see that I'm right? That's why you should commit to change. If you want now, he's going to start losing faith again in me. He's going to start seeing me as someone who's trying to sell him something. So what I want to do is lightly take that away. Yeah, and this journey is not for everyone, for sure. Like it's going to take, a few hours to go to the gym, follow a regimen. So I should ask, like, are you committed towards installing those things so you can become the person you can become, blah, 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 blah. I get a yes there, I get the commitment, and then I'm going to have them defend that commitment two different ways. One, why? Ask them, why are you committed? Or 2, consequence question. What happens if you don't commit? Last thing, and it's where a lot of people go wrong, and it can backfire. We have to understand that what we did is someone, if you're talking with a guy that's maybe you're talking to a young guy, I don't know, but if you're talking to a guy that's 30, 35, 40-year-old, you have to understand that what you just did is removed a belief pattern that has been going on for 5 years or 10 years, or I don't know how long. So what I have to, and so they're being very vulnerable right now. They've opened up, they've accepted that they're kicking the tires or they're not committed, and they're being very vulnerable. So what do I have to do? What do I have to do so they don't close the door? They realize that they've opened the kimono, now they're exposed, and now they're gonna shut their doors on me. What do I have to do? So I don't allow that to happen. I don't see answers, so I'm going to give it to you. Whatever gets rewarded gets repeated. Whatever gets rewarded gets repeated. So what does that mean? I have to reward them. I have to reward them for being vulnerable, for being open. And if I do, they're going to be more open around their goals, around their true why they're there, why they're freaking talking to a stranger in a Zoom call. So it's pretty simple. I don't have to use complex language here. Thank you for being, and I can appreciate this is a hand conversation for you. So kudos for being so open. Kudos for your willingness to be vulnerable with me. Again, whatever gets rewarded gets repeated. I have to reward them. You whistle to your dog to come and eat. You give him a treat. Same story. You see a behavior that you like, you have to reward it if you want it to repeat in that same conversation. So Number one takeaway in the chat, please. What's the one aha moment from kind of like everything? And then we'll move into Q&As and role plays and whenever really we want to unpack. Yeah, it's a pendulum, right? Like the entire sales conversation, like it's like this, like people open up to their problems and you don't have to take my word for it, right? When we are talking to someone, right? When we are open to someone, yeah, I mean, you know, my job sucks right now. My boss is giving me a hard time. So where does the pendulum go? My boss is giving me a hard time. The salary isn't good. I cannot take weekends off, but at least I'm getting paid. Can you see how the pendulum swings? Because that's how human psychology works. Like no one's going to stay 100% negative. And that's the trap a lot of people in sales fall into. They want to go full negative. And then all the prospect has to do is start becoming positive. And that's numbing their pain right away. So I'm missing out on all that gold that I've dug up. I never really thought about where to go with the have you been out there looking? Cool. Yeah, 100%. Appreciate it. The structure was really helpful for visualization. Pendulum was a great one. Yeah, 100%. Cool. Awesome. Good stuff. So solution awareness, temperature check. Yeah, absolutely. Like for all 5 stages of awareness, and there might be scenarios where, you know, someone is just a tire kicker and they don't want to commit, oh, the timing is not right, blah, blah, blah. Even after you've uncovered problems, the timing is not right. You start challenging them and they start becoming defensive. Just end the call. Like save your time. Like there is no, after we do a good job unpacking tactical vulnerability, the different tools that we have. If someone is kind of like, yeah, just here to see the programs, man, here to see the program, save your time. These people are not going to buy. So just end the call, do some outbound, jump in the DMs, send an email, go follow up. Like, there's no point. Take away their commitment, 100%, super important, critical step. Cool. So let's open it up to Q&As, role plays, all that fun stuff, anything. It can be about this, what we covered, or anything around sales, marketing related. Let's open the floor. Yeah, and raise your hand. Let's form a nice queue. Andrew.
Hey, so this is the first question, as far as what we just went over, first question in solution awareness. Would you then, if you went through this, you wouldn't ask any of your other questions that you would normally ask in solution awareness, right? Because it would kind of bring you to the consequence question, then you would continue from there.
I would ask everything. What I'm doing with the consequence is just a mini consequence.
Okay. So you would then go back and ask the rest of your questions that you would normally go through.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like I would come in after they commit, and I 100% I respect you for being so vulnerable. Not a lot of people are okay with doing that. Now, just to make sure that what we're doing is actually helpful for you, what exactly would you be looking for as you're making this transition to becoming the best version of yourself? What exactly would you be looking for in terms of support? Like, what would be your ideal criteria when it comes to that help? Then the future pays everything.
Okay.
Joseph.
Hey, Chris, the solution, when you said, you know, just ending the call for those folks who are on the call. So this happens to me a lot, you know, selling SaaS. I just want to see what you guys have. I just want to see the features, the product you're selling and stuff like that. And solution awareness, I'll hear that. So when you say just end the call there, curious, you know, it definitely would save me some time not having to go into through the presentation and stuff like that. But how do you respectfully kind of end those types of calls?
Yeah, first, like if there's a couple of things. So for me to reach solution awareness, like at least I have to find like a smidgen of a problem. Like in problem awareness, I don't have to create, this huge, enormous change, but at least I want to find a dent in their armor based on what they have in place now. Okay, and I'll walk you through the futures. I can walk you through the futures, but just to make sure that what we have will actually make sense for you, what would you be looking for? Like what were you hoping to get out of implementing something like this in the first place?
Yeah.
I'm not looking for anything, man. I mean, you guys reached out. Yeah, of course, but I guess what made you take time out of your day, since you have something in place, to possibly look at something different, just out of curiosity? I'm not that good looking, I'm gonna tell you that. So I'm not that cool. So there must be a reason why you want to find a little bit more about what we have, right?
Right. And you're going to make them give you something there and not just.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, we want more donors, man. We always want more donors. Or is it donors? Do I remember correctly? Yeah.
Yep. Notice. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want more donors, man. Okay. So what do you have in place now to get more donors? What are you currently doing? I'm doing X. Okay. How long have you had X in place for? 5 years. Okay. And is there a specific reason you went with X in the first place? Just they reached out, we bought it. Okay. So overall, how satisfied are you with X? So you can get more donors. Oh, we're getting amazing results. What do you like about it? What do you enjoy? We're getting results. They have the best futures ever. They have this, they have that. Well, it sounds like things are going fairly well with what you have in place now. Is there anything specific that you would maybe tweak? Maybe, I guess, around the software itself or the outcomes that you're getting from that software? No, I wouldn't change anything. Okay, so let's dig into the numbers. Like, how many donors did you have in your last thing? 5,000. Okay, so if you look at the industry standards, is 5,000 like on the lower end, or you broke every record in the record book there? No, we broke every record in the record book. Okay, so 5 donors, is that all the donors that you want to have and you're 100% satisfied, or do you feel you're leaving something on the table there? No, we're not leaving anything on the table. Cool. I mean, I'm not much used to you then. That's it. Like, that's how far I will take it.
Yeah.
But, I'm going to come up with something there. Like, the guy who climbed Mount Everest, he wants to go to Mars now. Like, give me a break, right? Like, there's always the next thing. Elon gets out of bed for a reason. He's going to fight Mark Zuckerberg in the cage for a reason. Like, there's always a next step for anyone. Now, if they completely, like, they're resistant to opening up, it might be something with my tonality. It might be something that I triggered, but typically, people, like 99 times out of 100, people will give me something to work with. It doesn't mean that, but it's what I'm saying is not everything will turn into a sale, but I will find a dent in their armor that I can at least start working with. And you might realize that the juice isn't worth the squeeze, and they truly cannot, find, like, if you charge, I don't know, 5,000 a year, and they're only gonna see an increase of $500. Yeah, like, there's nothing there. But that's a different conversation. I can still get, I haven't presented, I haven't done anything yet. All I have done is I found a smidgen of a problem that I can probe and start intensifying.
Yeah. Cool. Makes sense. Thanks.
Cool. David, could you ask in that situation, what are we in? Yeah, I can. It's just that I'm not gonna get to that stage. That would be third base. Like first base would be using that tonality and taking him through these questions. And then at the end, I would say, well, I don't need to be abrupt here, but why are we on the call? I'm not that cool. Like, why are we chatting today? 100%. Ben, or did I? Yeah, I believe it's Ben. Oh, David, sorry. Yeah, I saw a name.
put the hand, that's just like in my calls, I'm finding the call goes well. At the end, they say, yeah, cool. I will be funding the program within a day or two. And then because it's a bit difficult for them to close on the call because they don't have banks, so they have to go to an office and send the money. So,
Yeah.
and then like 50% of them just don't go with it when they have time and enough time to think about it. So like, how do you like make sure that when they say this, they're gonna actually go and pay?
Yeah, so just so I'm clear, let's say they commit, hey, David, it all sounds perfect. I just want to go back to the office, check my financials, and then like pay you essentially.
They say, yeah, and with the payment, all is good. We're just gonna go to this office and like OMT or places like that because they cannot pay by credit card. So they will have to have a day to think about it or two even to pay. And that time they will think about a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
They back home.
There is no way for you to take even a deposit, right?
Even if it's a deposit, they will have to go and put this deposit. Like
Understood.
They cannot do.
Perfect, not a problem. In that case, what I want to do is on every single one of your calls, I want to treat it as a money objection. Every single one. So what do I mean by that?
Yeah.
David, it all sounds good. You've done a terrific job today. I'll go to the office in 2 days. I'll send you a check. Okay, yeah, that's not a problem. Chris, I guess besides you wanting to go to the office and handle everything, was there anything else that you wanted to go over in your mind there, just in case I can help since we're here? No, everything sounds good. Okay, so do you feel like this is something that you could do so you can get to the outcome that you want? Yes. May I ask why though? Because X and Y and Z. Okay, what do you feel would be the keys to the castle for you though? Like the most beneficial thing? It would be this and this and this. Okay, that makes sense. So it's like us walking out of this call, it's just about handling the funding so we can get you to X and Y and Z. Yes. Okay, so you're committed to do this, so you can get to the person, the place that you want to get. Yes, that's all you can do.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna essentially, I will isolate that, and I will isolate in terms of, hey, besides that thing, are you committed? Why do you feel it's gonna get you? So I will do double, triple commitment. And at the end, like, do they tend to ghost you? Like, if they ghost you, I would say book them in. Like, let's say in 2 days. Like, if they tell you, I'm gonna go to the office tomorrow, book them for the day after for an onboarding call. So you at least have another touch point. They show up and they say, yeah, I didn't go through with it because I had a question or I'm fearful, or so you still have the opportunity. You have something on the calendar. They're gonna get a reminder, so you're there.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if that helps you.
Makes sense. Yeah. Thanks, Chris.
Does that? Do you feel confident in implementing that?
Yeah, I just have to double down on commitments, and with this onboarding call, it can be like a nice push for them to.
Yeah, because if you see pushback, oh, I don't need an onboarding call, something's up.
Yeah,
Because someone who's truly excited, they want all the support they can get, right? So if you
Yeah.
receive pushback on that call, there's trouble.
thanks, man.
Cool. Ben,
Yeah, so I just had a quick question about warm market. And kind of like how do you go about it without being like your latest greatest MLM type of person? Because I've had bad habits in the past. I just don't know how to start those engagements with the proper level of curiosity.
what
for them.
engagement exactly? What engagement?
So this would be for like insurance, for example, since everybody in my age group is like what's the word? Young. So not a lot of people think about it, care for it, and the concept and the idea is IULs, kind of like for them to put the additional money that they make into a structuredized banking life insurance policy that allows for them to pull from it.
I can give you advice all day on that, but your best answer is going to come from going back to
Yeah.
your current customers,
Yeah.
looking at the target demographic, picking up the phone and calling them, hey, this is just Ben from this insurance. Curious, why did you buy insurance in the first place?
Yeah.
That intrinsic motivation that you'll find from your customers is going to turn into your angle, into your hook to get new ones.
Okay.
Because it's what the market says. And no matter what I tell you now, I'm not gonna do it as much justice as the actual market.
Okay. So there wouldn't really be even like a particular way, because the goal or reason why I'm shooting for it is to get more practice doing it, so that way I'm not doing it on strangers, and like it just kind of like build my confidence. That's the goal, because it's something I've never done before.
Yeah, I mean, you use your regular cold calling structure.
Okay.
That's it. Like I was just popping by, I was just in the neighborhood. I'm just calling in to see if you had any hidden gaps around putting some, having a structured plan towards retirement so you don't have to work forever. I'm just pulling things out of my behind. Of course, you have to massage it, but yeah, that's the main idea.
Okay, I can see that. Thank you.
Cool. Levi.
Hey, Chris.
What's
So
up?
I was wondering if we could do a role play through the problem awareness section. I know we've been kind of going through that quite a bit in the past few weeks,
It's okay.
but I've been having a hard time getting, I guess, traction in that section. I keep getting like borderline useless answers, and I'm sure it's something that I'm doing, but I keep getting responses like,
Yeah.
well, are you happy with what you were doing? Yeah, I was happy with it. Okay, cool. What'd you like?
I'm gonna stop you there.
Okay.
So are you happy? You're, I don't want to use the wrong terminology. You're stonewalling yourself with that question
Okay.
because it's a closed-ended question. Are you happy? Yes, no.
Okay.
So the question you can ask is, how satisfied are you with X and Y and Z?
Okay.
That allows them to say, well, like it's much harder for them to say, I'm 100% satisfied. What typically happens is, yeah, I mean, we like it. It maybe, and what comes after that, maybe you probe and clarify into.
Gotcha. Okay. I guess, would we be able to do a role play where you're
Take me from the top. Take me from the top.
Okay. Would you be able to be the salesperson and I'll be the customer, just so I can kind of see how you would handle it with some of the questions that I've.
No.
No.
I'm gonna make it happen on you.
All right, that's totally fine. So you want to start at problem awareness or from the very top of the script?
From the top, tell me hi.
Hi there, you must be Chris.
Yeah, this is Chris.
Pleasure to meet you, Chris. I'm Levi. So it looks like I'm here today about possibly helping you out with a little bit of a rat issue. Is that correct?
It looks like you called us in to possibly look at a rat issue, I believe.
Okay. All right.
Can you
So
see the structure there? You called us in. Someone set that appointment for you, right?
most of the time, sometimes it comes from basically we have a structure in the company called tap leads, which a lot of those are kind of bad leads because they're generated by a computer when one of the technicians answers a question, and the customers oftentimes don't even know until I schedule the appointment with them.
Yeah, so in that case, hey, this is just Levi, are you the homeowner here? Yes. Yeah, I'm in between, I'm in running rounds in the neighborhood, and we heard there might be, I guess, a rodent, like a rat issue. It wouldn't be the case with you, would it?
Okay. All right. So I
With
guess
those leads.
I'm sorry, what was that?
With those leads, with the bad leads. That's the approach with the bad leads that you said.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So shall I take it from the top once more?
Yes,
All right. So, hi, you must be Chris.
it is. Yeah. What's up?
Well, I'm Levi. So it looks like you might like you called us about a possible rat issue. Is that correct?
Yeah, we have a couple of those buggers running around.
Oh, well, when you say running around, like, are you hearing noises? Are you hearing scratches, seeing them on the back wall?
My wife complained a couple of times.
What do you mean by complained? Like, she was just like, "Oh, I hate rats," or what do you mean by that?
She hates rats by default. She just saw, I think, like midnight a couple of times, like the past week. I think she saw a couple of them.
Okay. And I suppose, are you currently doing anything about the rats that you've been hearing?
What are you currently doing? So we don't sleep on the couch. What are you currently doing to take care of the rat issue? So you don't start sleeping on the couch, man. I don't want you to start sleeping on the couch. What are you currently doing to fix that?
Gotcha. So basically just ask the question a little bit of a different way.
Well, that was a closed-ended question again. Are you doing something? Yes, no.
Oh, okay.
That's where you can get lost. What are you doing? And if it's nothing, that's fine too, but give them open it up for them.
Gotcha. Okay. So, Chris, what are you currently doing to deal with the rats right now so that you're not sleeping on the couch?
Just chasing them around with a broomstick.
All right. Well, that sounds like fun. And
Yeah.
how long have you been doing that?
No, it just it happened 5 days ago. I saw a couple of them, I think, on Saturday. So I just went at it.
Gotcha. And I guess, is there any particular reason you chose to go at him with the broomstick instead of doing something else?
I mean, you guys told me that you can only come Mondays, so I just called you in then.
Okay. And I suppose, how satisfied would you say you are with your current method of dealing with them?
So that it's not gonna land, right?
Okay.
Especially because it's a very specific scenario, right? So what are you gonna, what can you ask them? Well, how's that working for you so far?
Okay. And now why would you change it to how's that working for you so far instead of the other
Well,
one?
he gave you a very specific answer. This is specifically for your offer, right?
Mhm.
So you're not gonna ask how satisfied are you chasing around rats with a broomstick. You're gonna ask, well, you're either gonna ask what how's that working for you, Like, did you get rid of the rat infestation? Or you're gonna ask, well, obviously, I don't imagine that you like chasing rat arounds. So how's that working for you?
Gotcha. Okay. So I guess we'll take it from there.
Yeah, or if I came up with a problem right away, or you can simply skip the problem awareness question, that opening, and you realize that they've told you what are they currently doing. They told you that it's last week, so you can just jump into, so how's that affecting you, this rat issue going on for about a week now?
Okay. And are we, obviously, it's pretty early on in the conversation at that point. So I'm assuming we're not going to get real deep answers off of how's that affecting you.
No, but still, you can have an effect because it's a heavy present pain. Like, they see rats, like he's not gonna keep chasing them around with a broomstick. So how's that affecting you guys, having rats running around for a week?
Okay.
So
All
you
right.
guys get a pretty good answer there.
Right. And so if they say, obviously, you know, how's that affecting you? Oh, well, I don't know. My wife was upset by it. And, you know, when we go to bed at night, we keep hearing them scratch.
Oh,
And that's basically all the information.
how do you mean your wife is upset?
Okay. Well, so she's been feeling, I guess, for lack of a better term, she seems to be a little stressed out by it.
Oh.
Every time we hear him scratch, she always looks at me and is like, what are we going to do about this? We can't just have rats up there.
Well, how's that making you feel, man?
Well, not very happy, that's for sure.
Okay. So besides, wanting to make the wife happy, because everyone would want that, I guess, what's the main reason why that you called special help in instead of just double down, call your neighbor, just get rid of them on your own?
Well, it doesn't really seem to be working very well. I mean, I've been chasing them around for a week now, and I'm pretty certain I have just as many rats as I had before.
Okay. That's your problem awareness.
Okay. And so then you'd go into solution awareness.
Yeah.
That's where you go into the, well, before our meeting today, were you kind of looking around at different options?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Well, that really helps illuminate things for me. I appreciate that.
How easy was that?
That's pretty easy.
Are we gonna do it?
I'm hoping so. I'm going to do everything I possibly can, but I might
We
not.
don't like to rely on hope over here. We either do or don't.
Well, I'm definitely going to do it. Would you mind quickly recapping each of the steps so I have something that I can more easily practice?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty straightforward, right? So connecting, you connect, try to disarm when you connect them. So the usual steps, I'll take too long to unpack everything, but what are you currently doing for the rat infestation? How long have you been doing it? Is there a specific reason that you chose to do it that way? If they give you a problem, a hard problem then and there, you're not going to ask, well, do you like chasing them around with a broomstick? It's, how's that working for you? And then it's, you just probe and clarify based on what they said. And you can use things like how often, what's the impact, how's that affecting you? And then you hop into the rationale question. That's it.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect.
Cool.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Let's keep working.
Absolutely.
Andrew.
Hey, Chris. I had a call this week, and when I presented my offer, when I gave the price drop,
Yeah.
I know that I triggered a think about objection because I think I gave them like too many options. Like I gave the price and then I also said, like we also have payment plan options as well. Most of our clients don't do that because they end up paying a little bit more for the same result.
Yep.
And then, where should we go from here? And I think, and then when she asked about the payment plan options, I was like, yes, we have payment plan options, and I gave them to her. I think I gave too many. And so I guess she was like, her think about objection was I want to think about which one would work best for me. And so I guess I'm curious how you structure that
Yeah,
um,
I don't
to
structure
make
it.
sure it doesn't happen.
Yeah, I don't structure it at all. Hey, Andrew, the investment is for the program is 10,000. So you can lose that weight, getting the best shape of your life. Where would you like to go from here?
Ooh, that's a lot.
When you say a lot, how do you mean exactly?
It's just a big upfront investment for me to make. Like, I don't have that kind of cash in hand.
Oh, okay. So besides kind of like the funding required, because I can understand that can be a concern, would you move forward with the program so you can XXXX?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Why though?
Oh, I think it would. It seems great, and I
Yeah.
like everything that you talked about, and I think it would
Right.
help me lose the 30 pounds that I want to lose.
Okay, that makes sense. So I guess, is it more of the upfront amount, or if we were to break it into something more digestible, would that help you? So you don't have to postpone getting that help, so you can blah blah blah.
Yeah, what would that look like?
Say that again.
Did I
froze for
break
a
up on
second.
you?
Yeah.
What would those options look like?
Yeah, I mean, it depends, because we want you to win regardless. So I don't want to make any assumptions. How much could you put into something like this so you can start getting help, put the right exercise plan in place so you can get the outcomes that you want?
Yeah, I guess that's something I would have to look into.
Yeah, if you
I would
thought
love to
about
see
it,
what the payment plan options are.
you don't have to. You don't have to be, specific. Just ballpark. If you look back just for a second, like how much funding could you put into a program like this, so we don't have to postpone your fitness journey?
Yeah. I think the amount that the $10,000 seems totally fair. I would just need to break it up over time.
Oh, over time,
Yeah.
like how much would work for you? Just in case I can come up with something that works based on your criteria.
Over the course of the 5 months.
5 months. It's a little bit longer than I can break it up. If I break it into 2 payments of 5,000, we get started today, you get the help, and then in 30 days, the next payment go through. Would that work within your budgetary constraints?
Yeah, I think I would definitely need to have.
Say no. Say no.
No.
So how much would work then?
4 payments.
If I could break it up into 3 payments of 3,500, 30 days apart, I guess, would that help you?
Yeah.
And that's
no in this scenario.
yeah. That's how you play it, though.
Okay. So you kind of get their thoughts on what would work for them, and then get.
Yeah, because now I'm clear. I'm clear on. You didn't give me budget,
Okay.
but at least I see that you're right around the 3,000 or the 2,000, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
at least what I can do now is to get the first 2,000 payment and then negotiate the rest, or come up with something custom if I want to help them.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I see their funding in front of me. It's not, I'm gonna think about it for 5 months, and like I know their budget.
Okay.
And if they're unwilling, it's a fair objection that you handle it as one.
Okay. So right now I have I can do financing for them. Like, they can use PayPal and pay over time.
Yeah.
And then I get paid in full, and they can pay over however long they want. And I also have payment plans. So maybe I just need to stick to one of those, because that was her hang up there.
Again, you put it back on them. It all depends on the client, how we break it up. So what would help you, so you don't have to postpone your fitness journey? And help them give a budget. If the budget is not enough, if the amount that they say is not enough, you unpack it with them and you help them out and you give them a higher amount.
Okay.
But of
Okay,
course,
cool.
you optimize for the highest amount collected.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Okay. So in that scenario for me, it would be the pay in full, and then I would try to probably optimize for financing.
Yeah,
Okay. Cool.
yeah.
Thank you. That was helpful.
Because if you unpack everything, yeah, it's like a buffet. They don't know where to go next.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Joel.
Hey, Chris. Yeah, I was hoping I had a question about what we were speaking about earlier, about things they've been looking into in the past,
Yeah.
and then hoping to do a little thing with solution awareness.
Mhm.
I was just curious if you can ever shoot yourself in the foot by asking them, before today, have you been looking at other options so you can start to get in the best shape of your life? And one objection a lot of people have is they want to go to the local gym and talk to a personal trainer first. Does the benefit outweigh the risk of them thinking, oh, maybe I should go check out some other options?
Well, this is something that you want to take care of with the rationale question.
Okay.
So besides you wanting to get into the best shape of your life, I guess what's the main reason why you might be looking for, advanced coaching with Dan rather than just, I don't know, just go to your neighborhood's personal trainer, get it done that way.
Okay. Normally I say versus figuring it out all by yourself.
Yeah, but if you're getting constantly the objection and you see that there is a problem already during the problem awareness, just go the trainer route.
Okay.
And you want to prevent the most prevalent objection there with that question.
Now, if they haven't mentioned a personal trainer in the past, I mean, it hasn't come up, and
Yeah.
and then I get to the, have you been looking at other options? The benefits outweigh the risk of them being like, maybe I should look at some other options.
I would say yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you can have later on the conversation of, well, I guess you could go with your local trainer, but I guess which is more risky to kind of like go with the first trainer that you find in your neighborhood where the options could be limited in terms of experience or results that they have had on for clients and spin the dice, or is it more risky for you to possibly look at Dan, who has helped thousands of clients already, just like you, high performing executives, not yoga moms necessarily?
Gotcha. Okay, nice. And then I know we did speak about this in the past, but been struggling a little bit. Most of our prospects are in pretty bad shape, need to lose substantial weight.
Yeah.
But I do get a lot of calls with people who are just looking to take things to the next level and trying to figure out how to adjust my solution awareness questions appropriately to address these people who are not in bad shape. So, normally I'd be like, okay, and so how long have you been dealing with this extra body fat? Like, when did it become a problem for you? But I just switch that to like, okay, and how long have you been feeling like you're not at the level that you want to be, being in the best shape of your life? And then like,
Again, yeah, rationale, right? So, besides you wanting to lose maybe 5 pounds, I guess what's the main reason why you might be looking for like advanced help from Dan rather than just double down on your workouts? You're in good shape already.
Yeah. Okay. And then, okay, let's say we were able to give you exactly what you need as far as, the structure, the routines, and the accountability to get into the best shape of your life. You creating that wonderful physique that you're after. How do you see life being different than maybe it is today?
Here's the thing though, when someone is, in good shape, let's put it that way, and they're high performing, their motivator might not be necessarily to lose weight or add 5 pounds of muscle, is to be them. Like the status that comes from being that, you know, hot in shape entrepreneur who's killing it. But that's where we have to get to the true why. Right? So you have to shift your solution awareness to be around their next version. So as you might understand, you're in good shape already. But from what I'm hearing, you want to get to 1%. And being 1% requires, you know, you're a high performer, requires a 1% mindset. So you becoming that next version of yourself, who do you feel you have to become? So you can be like that, like be out there crushing it, 7-figure business, but also in the best shape of your life. Like, what's the next level for you, Joe?
Yeah. I mean, I do want to hit those goals and perform at my best.
Yeah, but who do you feel you have to become? Like, how's the new Joel 2.0, ripped 5 pounds more muscle than today's Joe?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'd be a little more confident. You know, I already feel pretty good about myself, but
Then you dive confidence. That's the driver. So what will it do for you? Being able to show up powerfully, be feeling confident. You're not gonna touch muscle. You're not gonna touch. It's about confidence. So what will it do for you? Like being in the best shape of your life, showing up as powerfully as you can.
what are you going to do with that confidence?
Yeah, like what would having that confidence, what would that do for you?
Okay. Appreciate it.
So it's a core motivator challenge. It's not necessarily the way that you're wording it. It's we're probing on the wrong thing. Because their motivation, yeah, it's not that they're going to have a heart attack. It's they're saying Dan's tweet about doing a double twist backflip, I don't know what, and they can't do it. So they want the status that comes with that.
All right.
Does that help?
It does. Yeah. Thank you.
Cool. Absolutely. Andrew, did you raise your hand again? Okay, that's all good. Cool. So we're at pretty much time. Anything else before we ramp up, ladies and gents? Cool. Awesome. Well, awesome to see everyone and the new faces. I'll see you on the next one. Same time, same day, next week. All right. Have a good one. Enjoy your
Thanks,
Sunday.
Chris.